Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and this is Home of the Wildflowers, my Flosstube channel where I talk about all of my cross-stitch projects. Today is July 5th and this is Flosstube episode 24, I believe. So we have quite a bit to talk about today. So I think it'll be a little bit of a longer video. Usually my videos are only like 15-20 minutes long, but this one will probably be closer to half an hour. So first off, I'm going to do a quick little shop update and talk about what's new in the shop this week, or I guess since I filmed last. Then we're going to go through the things I worked on in the past. I think it's been 3 weeks since my last video, so what I've worked on in the past 3 weeks, and then I'm going to talk about my July plans and Christmas in July for a little bit. So I'm going to start with shop stuff. If you are not interested in shop talk, then feel free to skip ahead to the whips. So first off, it's July, so the next pattern in my monthly series is out now. It's called Sunflower House, and I'm going to put in a picture of the mock-up. I am working on the model stitch still, so this is just the mock-up, but there's a picture there for you. It's called Sunflower House, same size as the past ones, and it's also going to be on the same fabric, which is a 36 count linen in flax. I think flax is just a great neutral color that, like, white still shows up well on it, but a lot of colors look really good on it. So it's one of my favorites to stitch on. Okay, next up we're going to talk about the full coverage patterns that I just added to the shop recently. So we have a new artist that I have added. Her name is Shelby Gipp, and a lot of her artwork is very fairy tale inspired. So we have a couple of them that I've put up. We have Spring Castle. I'm going to put pictures here of what they look like. Then we have Summer Castle. So two similar pieces, but sort of a different color profile, and I honestly can't decide which one I like better. So Spring Castle and Summer Castle. Then we also have Forest Beauty. And then we have Forest Fairy Tale. So these have all been added to the shop now. I have two more charted. Let me insert pictures of those ones as well. So one is called Floating Lanterns, and the other one is called Kiss the Girl. So both of these will be added to the shop very shortly. I think in the next, I want to say the next day or two. I'm just like finishing up the last bit of work on them. I do have more artwork from this artist. I have a lot more that's like beautiful, but I don't have it charted yet, so it would be still a little bit until I get it in. It takes a little bit of time to chart it and go through and make sure that it's looking good. So if you have specific things that you want to see, just let me know down below so I can try and see if I can find anything for that. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly just tell you the best sellers for June. So we had Late Summer Days. This is artwork by Asia Spatel. This is one of my favorites. It's absolutely gorgeous. Second, we had Midnight Watch. This is artwork by Roline Vandermeer. And then the third one we had was Fall Heathland. And this is artwork also by Asia Spatel. So these are the top 3 bestsellers for June. And then just lastly, just to mention, I am running a sale right now for Canada Day, 4th of July. So everything in the shop is 20% off, and that's going to go until July 7th. So if you had your eye on anything and you want to purchase it now, the sale is on till July 7th. You don't need a coupon code or anything. It's just applied automatically. And again, the link will be down below in the description box if you wanted to go check it out. And I just want to say a really big thank you to everybody who has supported my shop, liking the patterns. Even if you're not purchasing, like if you favorite patterns, if you favorite the shop, it just helps it get seen more. So thank you so much to everybody who has supported the shop for me. it's meant the world to me. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the stuff that I've worked on the past couple weeks. So we had first up is Arctic Animals by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm not going to put a picture in. I don't like to put a picture of this one in because it is a mystery stitch along, and if somebody hasn't seen what the next clue looks like, I know it came out like a couple weeks ago, but I just don't want to put the finished piece in case somebody hasn't seen what it looks like yet. So mine is not fully stitched yet. So this is Arctic Animals by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. We're stitching it. Brandon and I are stitching this one together. So we're like going back and forth on who stitches. I stitched part 1, he's stitching part 2. This is where we are at right now. So this was part 1 over here. I finished it as an Arctic Fox in the voles, and then he started working on part 2 here. So this fabric is that's like pretty accurate to the color, but this is a 14 count Aida that we dyed with Rit dye. We were trying to get something like similar to what the called for fabric was, and this looks, we really like how this turned out. So this is Arctic Animals. The only thing I'll say about this pattern is that it does not go into Pattern Keeper or Markup XP very well. It tends to pick up all the stitches as just one symbol instead of like differentiating the symbols. So it is a little bit difficult in that sense. If you only use like digital patterns, you might have to use something like, what is it, like iBooks or whatever that you can like mark on. So that would be the only thing with this pattern. And then this is Brandon's little stitch marker. We got this from Outlaw Stitching on Etsy. Okay, that's Arctic Animals. I am trying to decide where I'm going to set stuff. Next up was a whip go goal for June was Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. I needed to get 1 square finished. It's like a 9-patch series. So this is where I got to. And this is the square that I did this month. This is a 36 count vintage country mocha. I'm using the DMC conversion that's in the pattern, and I did 890 stitches to get the finish on this square. So that is my goal met for June. So there's the whole piece. Okay, next I have that's kind of a finish. I guess that's a partial finish because it's 1 square out of the 9. But now I have another finish, and this is the first Mania finish from the projects I started during Mania. And this is Crab Dance by Tiny Modernist. So that is what it looks like. This is a 32 count linen from Michaels. I don't know what the color is. It's like a beigey kind of color. And I did 1,065 stitches on this in the past couple weeks. This is I did my own conversion to just like basically what I had on hand, and I think it turned out really well. I started this on May 5th, 2024, and I finished it on June 15th of 2024. Okay, that's done. And then next up, I worked on my Heaven and Earth Design stitch along for 2024. I'm doing the mouse. My goal was to get part 2 done before part 3 came out, but that did not quite happen. Part 3 is out now. It just came out on the 1st of July. And this is where I'm at on mine. So I've been working in adding in all the stitching over here. And I did 2,292 stitches, and I'm at 83.14% of this done of the second part. I haven't added the third part in because I want to finish the second part before I pull up the third part. But this is, I have 6,650 stitches left in part 2. So just gonna keep plugging away on this one. I've been kind of doing like do 1,000 stitches on this and then move and then work on something else, then do 1,000 stitches on this, work on something else. So it's coming along. I have been forgetting to put in pictures of what things look like, so I will start now. So Prairie Smoke, this was also a May start, a Mania start, but I needed 1,500 stitches on it because it was also a WIP goal for May. So I did 312 in May, and I did another 1,212 stitches in June. So this is where I was the last time you saw it, and this is where I'm at now. This is just Carolyn Manning Designs Prairie Smoke. And so it's hard to see the light color. It shows up better in person than it does on the camera, but there is some light stuff there. So this is where I'm at now. I did not write the percentage down. There's a lot of back stitching though, so it's kind of hard to say like percentage wise, because once the stitching's done, you still got a little bit of back stitching to do. So that is Prairie Smoke. Then the next thing I worked on was Late Summer Days, which is by Asia Spatel, started by me in my shop, Sweet Violet Stitch Co. And I added another 330 stitches to this. It's all been one color so far. So this is where I'm at. I'm not gonna put a before picture because it's basically there's not much difference. So that is where I'm at on that one. Okay, so then I was kind of deciding that I wanted to try stitching in hand, just because I've heard that it's faster, and because every time I want to change projects, and I only have like 2 Q snaps, so every time I change projects I gotta change my Q snaps, and I wanted to try stitching in hand. I just thought it'd be easier to like switch out projects. So I ended up I had also gone to my local library and got this book out. So this is Modern Folk Art Cross Stitch. So I borrowed this book from the library, and let me see. Okay, so this is what the piece looks like. It's beautiful. It's by Poppy Benner, and it's called Birds and Berries. So this book, so I decided to start trying that stitching in hand to see how that would go. It was a bit of an adjustment, but I did really enjoy it, and so I do plan to do some other things in hand. But I found that I can't really do, or I haven't worked hard at it long enough to do in-hand stitching on linen, like counting over 2. And so right now I've just been doing it on like Aida. So this is a 14 count fiddler's cloth, and this is what it ended up looking like. I changed my colors. I can't remember what they were, but if you want to know, just leave a comment below and I'll get the colors for you. So I ended up changing it to like purples, these like mauve purples. I started this on June 19th and I finished it on June 25th. Once I got started doing it, I was like, oh, this is really fun, and I like stitching in hand. So I ended up working on it pretty quickly. So that's Birds and Berries by Poppy Benner. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So next up we had my second Mania finish, which is January by Cressetta Gogo. And so I'll put a picture in of where I was the last time you saw this. And this is what it looks like finished. It's so cute. So this I did 1,157 stitches to finish it up. And it is, I started on May 8th and, May 4th, and I finished it on June 27th. So I just cut it off of that big fabric that I had it on. So There it is. And this is a 36 count. I think in natural or flex, I can't remember. I get those two mixed up all the time. 36 count though. So that was January. Next up is my third Mania finish, which is Dreamer Stamp by Sweet Annette. And I will put a picture of what it looked like the last time you saw it. And there it is now. I took out the, I wasn't going to do, it's supposed to be a stamp, but I decided I wasn't going to stitch the white around it, and I'll just finish it with some like cardstock or something cut out in the shape of a stamp instead of trying to stitch white on white. But that's where it is. This was a, this is an 18 count white Aida from Michaels. I started this on May 8th and finished it on July 2nd. And it was 951 stitches plus all the back stitching. That was what I did. So, okay. Then we had, I pulled out Magical Merry-Go-Round, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece. The artwork is by Josephine Wall. This is what the finished piece would look like. And then this is where I was the last time you saw it. And this is where I'm at now. There's nothing really that way. So I finished, I have so many threads because I stitch over them and then cut them after. So I worked on more of the purple down here, and then I decided to go up to the corner and start working on this blue, which I think is 823. And I did 598 stitches on it. And this is sitting at 0.74%. Okay. And then next up we had one of my whip go goals for July. I pulled it out to get started on it. And then I ended up deciding that this is going to go in, it's not going to be, I don't know, I'm DNFing it. But this is the whale, and I can't remember, I got this pattern on Etsy and I can't remember the name of the shop. I'll try and insert it if I can find it. But my whip go goal was to do 1,500 stitches, and as I was working on it, I just decided that it's not that I don't like it. I think the pattern is beautiful, but it's just really not one that I want to work on right now, and I have a lot of patterns that I really like, so I'm going to just be setting this aside for now. I'm not taking it apart or anything, but I'm not going to be actively working on it, so it's going to go to the side. But this is, I did 436 stitches on this before I decided that. I basically finished out this fin here, and I added all these black stitches, which is hard to see because it's black on black, but I added all the black stitches in there. So that one is going to go away for a while. Okay, then it came to July is Christmas in July, and I thought about what I wanted to do to participate in it. Did I want to work on the whips I have already that are Christmas? Did I want to do other things? So one of my goals is that I would really like to do some more Christmas smalls or Christmas ornaments. And so I think that's what I'm going to be working on for Christmas in July. I'm going to work on one until it's finished, and then I'll start another one, and we'll see how many I can get done in July. So the first one that I worked on came out of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It's by Sub Rosa Designs, and it's called Stitcher's Christmas. I think it's called Stitcher's Christmas Sewing Roll, but this is what it looks like when it's done. Well, not done. This is done for me. I did 1,751 stitches. There is a border that goes around, and there's like a little needle with thread here, but I decided to, I didn't really like the border, so I decided to eliminate that part, and I kind of like how it looks just like this. So there it is, Christmas in July, the first finish for that. So now I am going to move on to another piece. I haven't decided yet which one I want to do though. So there we go. And then oh, I missed this one whip that I just started working on last night, but this is February from Corsetta Go-Go. I decided to start on the next month to try and get another finish done. I'm kind of in a place where I started so many things in May for Mania, and I'm happy about that, but I also now have a lot of whips and I want to kind of whip down. So I want to get some things finished. So I am now on to February from Corsetta Go-Go. And I just pulled this out last night, and I only really did, I did these hearts under the words, I did these white dots down, and then I did this like a heart wreath that I'm starting there. It was only like 79 stitches, I think, that I did last night. But I'll keep working on this one. So hopefully next video that will be a finish. Okay, and then our Pokemon piece. We have added another couple of Pokemon to this. This is the piece that I'm doing with my husband. We pull, we flip cards. He has Pokemon cards that he collects, so we flip them, and that's the Pokemon that we stitch. And so we have now finished 18 out of 151. So let me see. I'm sorry about the chair noise. I'm just gonna kind of stand up so you can see, because it's a big piece of fabric. Okay, so he stitched this one, which is the Charmander. And then what was next here? I stitched the Gloom. And I don't know if I showed you the Doug Trio yet, but he did stitch the Doug Trio. Then I stitched Ninetales. And then what was next? Where are we going with this? I don't know if you saw the Aerodactyl yet. He did the Aerodactyl. And then, did you see the Flareon? I think I showed that in the last one. And then this is the Geodude. And I think that was it. He did Geodude and Charmander this last round. So, anyways, that is our piece for Pokemon. We still have a ways to go, but we're at 18 out of 151. So let me go back forward, and I'm going to put this away. We will be pulling cards again. If I film it, I'll add it to the video. Otherwise, you'll see next time which ones we picked. Okay, so that's everything I worked on in the past 3 weeks. Now, we're gonna go kind of over the June goals that I had and then into July goals. So June goals was 1,500 stitches on Before I Sleep, which I showed you last time because I finished the 1,500 stitches. So that whip go goal was done. The second whip go goal was Fall on the Farm for 1,500 stitches, no, for 1 square finish. I just showed you that. I'm also done that. So the 2 June goals are complete. May goal was, like, May had 3 numbers, so I had only finished 2. So the third one was Prairie Smoke for 1,500, so I finished that up. So May and June. So I am caught up on whip go besides the ones that I decided to not finish. So that was the Fancy and ABC. I decided to I'm going to restart that eventually on something else. And then now up to July, the Whale was one of July's picks, which I'm deciding to put away. So I worked on it, but it's going away. Then the other goal, sorry, I'm just moving my thing. The other goal for July is Kringles. 1,500 stitches on Kringles. So this, I'm going to put a picture here of what the finished piece looks like for Kringles. This is a pattern by Little House Needleworks. And it kind of worked out perfectly for Christmas in July that it got picked in July. So I will do 1,500 stitches on Kringles. Then another goal for June was to catch up on the Heaven and Earth design style. That didn't happen. It was just kind of like a lofty goal. I didn't really expect to be able to get that done, but I did get down to 6,000, just over 6,500 stitches left in part 2. And then I'll be able to start part 3. Late Summer Days is one of my full coverage focuses, I think. But I didn't get much done on it this past month, so I do want to get some more done on that. I was kind of getting bogged down with all of one color, so I think I'm gonna try and switch colors, and because it's quite a big section that's just like of the sky that's just one color. So I think I might switch out and start a different color just so I can get some change there. And then another thing I'm working on is for the shop. I'm working on some Halloween designs for I want them to come out. I think I want them to come out in September, so you have lots of time to stitch them before Halloween. But I am working on some Halloween designs. So I have 2 of them that I've completed the design. I think I'll put a little sneak peek here of one of them. It's super cute little ghost. And then, so 2 of them I finished designing. I think I want to have 5. I have ideas for another 3, so I think that's where I'm gonna end up with is 5. So 5 Halloween designs that are gonna come out sometime in September. And so 2 are designed, 3 more need to be designed, and then they all need to be model stitched. So that is what I will be working on coming up. I don't know if I'll show the designs as I'm model stitching them, because I kind of want it to be a surprise for when they release. So I'll show them like just closer to when they're going to be released. But anyways, those are my plans. That's what I'm working on. Hoping to be back here again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks will be, yeah, I think 2 weeks, because we go away for a week at the end of July. So I want to film before we go away, and then I'll film again like after we get back. So 2 weeks from now, I plan to film another video. Do you guys want life updates? I never know what to talk about. If you guys really want to know stuff about what's been going on in my life, but a couple weeks ago marked 2 years on Flosstube, which is crazy to me. I took a long break on that, so it was not like a full 2 years that I've been here, but it is 2 years from when I posted my first video. So that's pretty exciting. It feels like yesterday that I started my first video, and it was like so nerve-wracking to put that first video out. I'm a very introverted person, so I don't really like a lot of attention on myself, but this has been a really fun place to just share what I'm working on and talk to other like-minded people who have the same interests as me. So thank you to everyone who has supported me over the last 2 years. If you guys weren't here, I don't know if I'd keep doing videos, but thank you so much for all of you who have supported me over the last 2 years. I really appreciate that. We also celebrated Violet's first birthday was recently, and actually a funny story is that I went to check because I thought, oh, my YouTube Flosstube anniversary is coming up soon in June, and I didn't know what day. I never really took note of what day I started. So I decided to go and take a look, and so I started my Flosstube 2 years ago, and it just so happens to be the same day as Violet's birthday, which I think is just a really cool coincidence. So Flosstube turned 2 and she turned 1, and so that's what we've been doing. So we celebrated. We took her out to Build-A-Bear. They have pay your age in your birthday month thing that they do. So we took her there and we got her a bear. We did a little Build-A-Bear with her, and then we did just on her actual birthday, we just celebrated like just me, Brandon and I and her. So we took her to the mall to do the Build-A-Bear, and then we got some books for her because she really loves reading books at night. And then the weekend after her birthday, we had a party with just a small party with our family, and we have so much family that loves and spoils her, and so that's just a lot of fun to be around. So we got to do that. For me, I'm just trying to enjoy the last bit of my maternity leave. I go back to work at the beginning of August. so we go on vacation at the end of July, and then once we get back from vacation, I go back to work. So I'll be going back to work full time. I work a hybrid job, so I do 3 days in office and 2 days from home. So it's not too bad, and I work for a great company. So, but it will be a change to going back to work, and it's going to be an adjustment to try and figure out when I'm going to film and stitch and all sorts of things, but it'll be fine. We'll make it work. I think that's it that I have to talk about. I will put one picture here. I don't like to show Violet on here, just for privacy, but I will share. So I don't show her like a lot on here, but I will share one picture from her birthday just for you all. I shared a picture after she was born, and I will share a picture now of her first birthday. But that's all I have to talk about today. I hope you guys all had a great holiday. If you're celebrating Canada Day or the 4th of July, I hope you had a great holiday, and I hope you have a relaxing weekend with lots of stitching. Okay, bye.